Well, the long Clavenless week of Clavenlessness is finally over. People around the world spent the weekend celebrating by attending church services, eating chocolate eggs, and gathering with family for prayers of thanksgiving, although, to be honest, that may have just been a coincidence. But while I spent the week far away in England where the happy, barefoot, carefree natives speak a language Americans can't understand, namely English, I did manage to keep up with world events by reading various American news sites. So, to begin this festive Claventide, allow me to present a roundup of the week's news as described on these sites. After a poison gas attack in Syria, Ivanka Trump apparently got very upset and demanded that Daddy bomb someone right this minute. President Trump, who can never deny his daughter anything because she's just so hot, unleashed a devastating aerial attack on either Syria or Iraq or Steve Bannon. He always gets those three confused. North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un responded, for some reason, by detonating a nuclear device that blew him into the kitchen pantry, where he spent the next 3 days eating a particularly succulent japchae pork with potato noodles. At this point, presidential spokesman Sean Spicer mistakenly announced that Adolf Hitler never used poison gas against his own citizens, when in fact, poison gas was kind of a thing with Hitler, causing many high-ranking Nazis to remark, "Ach, that Hitler always mit der poison gas." Spicer quickly issued an apology which read in full, quote, "Shut up or I'll punch you repeatedly in the face," unquote. Nancy Pelosi then demanded Spicer resign, saying, quote, "If we allow public officials to say such amazingly stupid things, before you know it, I'll be in Congress," unquote. Spicer responded by placing Pelosi's head in a vise and tightening it until the top of her skull blew off, revealing a jack-in-the-box clown where most people keep their brains. In the aftermath, Steve Bannon was fired, according to an anonymous source who once drove by the White House and said it looked like the sort of place in which Bannon had been fired. Trump next unleashed an attack on Afghanistan or someplace by dropping something called the mother of all bombs, or the mom bomb, or the mama bomba bomba bam by Richie Valens. Leftists were outraged, saying the bomb was so expensive that the money should have been used to build shelters for all the little bombs who are now motherless. Trump supporters were also angry because they had wanted the Trump administration to stay out of foreign wars until the wars metastasized into worldwide disasters that would engulf the earth in flames. When told that was actually the Obama administration's policy, the Trump supporters descended on Berkeley to punch left-wing fascists so the day wouldn't be a total loss. Kim Jong-un responded to the Berkeley riots by unleashing an attack that destroyed the entire known universe. In the hellish, radioactive aftermath, Steve Bannon was fired, then returned to work. So basically a pretty normal Clavenless week. Trigger warning, I'm Andrew Klavan, and this, at last, is The Andrew Klavan Show.
I feel hunky-dunky, life is tickety-boo. Birds are winging, also singing hunky-dunky-doo. Ship-shaped, ipsy-topsy, the world is zippity-zing. It's a wonderful day, hurrah, hooray! It makes me want to sing. Oh, hurrah, hooray! Oh, hooray, hurrah!
What was I going for? Like 1 week, maybe 8 days, and you bring the world to the brink of nuclear war? I mean, it's like, this is why we can't have nice things, you know? All right, but I'm here now, and I'm here until Friday. So it's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We will do shows where the Daily Wire was closed yesterday, and I spent Easter in England. I'll talk a little bit about that. That was kind of fun. But first, we have to talk about Blue Apron. This is one of these commercials. No, one of these commercials where they offer free food. They offer 3 meals for free, and somehow I have to sell this to you because that's my audience. My audience is going, I don't know, free food. I would, Anyway, but Blue Apron, it's great. Look, I have tried it myself. We have continued to subscribe to it again. It basically sends you the ingredients, the perfect ingredients, and simple instructions on how to make excellent restaurant-level meals yourself in your own home. So you get to sit there and cook with your wife or alone in a lonely, half-drunken state. But the food is really good. It really is excellent. It is all American stuff with 99%. It can be delivered to 99% of the continental U.S. 99%. So it can get to you at your house anywhere you want. Here are some of the upcoming meals. This is the kind of stuff I'm sure you're not cooking now in your house. But with Blue Apron, you can cook spinach and fresh mozzarella pizza with olives, bell peppers, and ricotta salad. I mean, come on, this is good stuff. Sweet and sour salmon with bok choy, carrot, and ginger fried rice. Parmesan crusted chicken with creamy fettuccine and roasted broccoli, baby broccoli, and fontina paninis with hard-boiled egg and arugula salad. It's really good stuff. And the thing is, you make it yourself. It's about $10 a meal, which is not expensive at all. The ingredients are delivered to your house. They give you this kind of chart, so it's very simple instructions. Really good stuff. And you can go and check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals for free with free shipping if you go on blueapron.com/Andrew. I'm a little jet lagged. You may notice, a little bit jet lagged. But blueapron.com/Andrew, and you get 3 meals for free. So that is a kind of good reason to check this out. You'll love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron. So don't wait. blueapron.com/Andrew. It's a better way to cook and a better way to eat as well. Anyway, I come back, and the place is falling apart. Bill O'Reilly, they say, is going to get fired. I mean, this is still a sources say thing, but they say that Fox is basically, his ratings are soaring. The guy's ratings are going through the roof. Nobody cares except the sponsors. And when sponsors start to pull out on you, people get nervous, right? And the Murdochs are through. He was exposed, but the New York Times exposed that a number of women had sued him for sexual harassment in the workplace, and they had paid them off, basically. They had settled this. O'Reilly's lawyer is saying, no, this is all a left-wing setup. I'm completely innocent. And so that's where it stands. Very tough to judge this stuff because it just sounds so real all the time. When they say a powerful guy is picking on women in the workplace, it just sounds like that is really happening. But we weren't there. We can't know. It would be really interesting if this story is true and he's gone. I mean, you can't make excuses for it. You got to treat your fellow workers with respect. I don't, because look at the people I work with. But I mean, most people are not. I remember the first time I was on Greg Gutfeld's show on Red Eye. I said to him, this place is like Bizarro High School because the smart guys get the pretty girls, which is not what happens in high school. The smart guys get beaten up by the big guys in real high school. But it may just be that people have gotten a little out of control there, because there's certainly a lot of talk that the women are not being treated well, and O'Reilly is supposed to have asked women out, and then if they didn't respond, he wouldn't, he basically shunned them and make it harder for them to promote. Not a nice thing to do, It's like there's an old Yiddish expression. I won't say it here, actually, but what it means is don't bother the girls at work. That's what it means. All right. So you'll have to ask Shapiro. He'll tell it to you in Yiddish, because I can't do it, and it'll be too filthy in English. Well, the other thing that happened. This is the thing that drives me crazy. Now the Republicans are the people less likely to be bothered by adultery in their candidates. As of 2016, for some reason, suddenly Republicans don't mind anymore if their political candidates are sleeping around. People, obviously they don't mind about Bill O'Reilly. If the reports are true, they're watching him and all this stuff. So people are following the people. They're not following the principles. They're not following. Things have gotten so partisan that even morality kind of goes down the drain. So I'm watching politics from far away. I go to England, and it really is interesting. This is how I became a conservative in the first place. I lived in England for 7 years, and it was like that picture the astronauts took of the Earth seen from the moon. Remember that picture? Just suddenly you see this Earth, and that was what it was like. Suddenly I saw America from very far away. And it's funny in England because they love us, but they hate us. We're kind of the new kid in town. We're the child who grew up and became bigger than the mother country. And they talk a lot. The first time I was at a dinner party in England, somebody said, what is it with you Americans and a written constitution? Why do you have to have a written constitution? And I thought I was talking to a Nazi. I thought, why wouldn't you have a written constitution? But the thing about England is they've been there for 1,000,000 years, and they don't need a written constitution because they're English. They know how to be free. They invented freedom, They invented modern freedom. And it was shocking. I got to admit, I lived there in the 90s, and I've been back since, but every time I go to London, I'm shocked by how few English people are left in London, and how many of the women are wearing burqas and various Muslim garb and all that stuff. And it's unnerving because in America, if everybody is a different color, but they all adhere to the Constitution, it's still America, right? But in England, if nobody is English, is it still England? I mean, there is this kind of racial component there that we don't have. I mean, the racists here, the alt-right faction who think that it's all about the color of your skin, they think we're all about race, but we're all about ideas. I mean, it's ideas that govern things, and the ideas that govern things and the ideas of the English have been created by this culture. And if that culture vanishes, will it remain? You know, they don't. If it's not written down, will it remain? So I was scanning. I was talking to everybody about all my friends. I have all these friends over there, great people, and I wanted to know what they thought of Donald Trump. And of course, they're all absolutely appalled by Trump. I mean, my friends, wonderful people, but artist types and, you know, kind of posh, middle class type people. They call them middle class. See, we would call them upper class because they speak in complete sentences. But they're over there, they're just middle class. Although I have one friend who's a baron, you know. It's like, so I was just asking him, and they were all just appalled. He's appalling. What did you do? How have you done this? So I said, okay, well, what's appalling about him? What has he done? Nothing. It was just who he is. It was just who he is. And they would say, Obama, he was one of us. Obama was one of us. And I said, yeah, he was one of us, as in the sense that he was educated and classy and elegant and all that, but he was a terrible president. He did a terrible, terrible job. And Trump, this continues. I was talking about this before I left. It continues. Trump is running this weird double presidency, this presidency where if you're looking at Trump himself, you're kind of thinking, I don't know, this guy, he is strange. But then if you look at what he does, I can't score him. I mean, there are things, that thing when he called Erdogan, you know, in Turkey, they had this referendum, probably rigged. Erdogan gets dictatorial powers, and Trump calls him up and congratulates him. You know, you go like, congratulations, you're a dictator, you know, right? Just, thank you very much. I will kill everyone and jail all the journalists. Good for you. I'm so happy to hear it. You know, so when he's talking, you hear this stuff. When he bombed Syria, I'm on the plane flying to England when he bombed Syria. And first of all, I don't watch CNN a lot except to kind of pay attention to how bad they are. But CNN was all they had of American news stations that you could get live on the plane. I turned on that station, forget about the bias. That is the stupidest collection of human beings, with the exception of Jake Tapper. If you put Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon, is that his name, and the blonde girl who works with Chris Cuomo, if you put their IQs together, you would get like one person. I mean, they are so dumb, and the analysis they do is so ill-informed and so simplistic and so. But I had to say, my entire feeling about this was, yeah, of course Trump bombed Syria. I mean, this is what happens when a new president comes to town. They test him, right? The bad guys, the Russians, Vladimir Putin, who is just a thug and a murderer, he's going to test him. He's going to say, is he a paper tiger? Is he a guy like Obama who never, you know, when he sets a red line, it suddenly vanishes. You know, it doesn't matter. Is he a weakling like Obama was? Trump responded doing the exact right thing. It was like, show him you're nuts. Show him you're crazy. I'll bomb anybody. I'm nuts. I'm Trump. You gassed those children. My daughter didn't like it. You're dead. You know, that's the tone you want to set, because now Putin is thinking, maybe this is not such a good idea. You know, I think maybe I will not do this next time, because he doesn't know what Trump is going to do. And then he dropped the bomb in Afghanistan, which I also thought was the right thing to do. And Trump's followers, you know, I mean, conservatives are like this anyway. Conservatives judge you on every single thing you do. You know, it's not, they don't take the kind of shape of the administration and say, how's it going? And Trump was a non-interventionist, right? He told Obama, don't go into Syria. He said, you know, he tweeted to Obama, you know, stay out of Syria. What is America first, America first. And you couldn't blame them. I mean, like I was listening to Ann Coulter. We have Ann Coulter. Yeah, play Ann Coulter. This is her reaction. She's like appalled that Trump is doing this stuff.
I like what Trump said during the campaign, which is it would be insane to go in and come out against Assad. He's the one fighting ISIS and al-Qaeda. We always go into these things. We get nothing out of it. We spend trillions of dollars. Americans die. Most of the rest of the world are savages, and we're always coming in at one point in the bar fight and propping up the loser at that one particular moment. The whole point of the Trump campaign was America first, put America first, make America great again. And what I really think you and I should be talking about right now, Lou, is, the fact that anchor babies aren't citizens and they should be deported too. And isn't that great that Trump is not printing work permits for the Dreamers anymore? Oh, except he is. But we don't want to hear about the payloads and the topography of Syria. Get these generals out of the picture.
I have to say, she just gets better looking. Like, how does she do that? She's just more and more attractive. I can't disagree with her because she's so good looking, but I do disagree with her because I think this was what we had with the Obama administration. We already know what it looks like when we have an isolationist policy, when we don't go into places, when we don't police the world goes up in smoke, which is a good reason for you to get life insurance because let's face it, another few weeks of this, we're all going to die. But if you want to get life insurance, and you should, you really should. It's something. It's important. It takes care of your family. It takes care of the people who depend on you. Especially if you're young, you're not expecting anything. You can get it kind of cheaper, and the way to get it cheaper is to go to Policy Genius. Policy Genius is the best online insurance marketplace because you get to go and compare everything. There's no hassle. They don't sell you anything. They don't come on. They don't call your family. You don't get those horrible phone calls where they try to shove things down your throat. You just go on and you can compare prices, and you can save a lot of dough. You can save just by comparing the prices of the life insurance, and you do it yourself, and it's easy. You go to policygenius.com today. You can save over 40% off other prices of life insurance. That's a lot, and it's a good time to get started right away. When life insurers compete for your business, you save money. It's Policy Genius. It's POLICYGENIUS.com. PolicyGenius.com. Zero jargon, zero sales pressure, zero hassle. It's life insurance made easy. Free quotes, zero hassle, peace of mind. Don't wait. Go to policygenius.com today. And now we got to say goodbye, right? We got to say goodbye to Facebook and YouTube. If you were subscribing to thedailywire.com, not only could you watch the whole show on the site, but we are now giving away for an annual subscription a lousy $8 a month. You get the movie The Arroyo. You get the DVD of The Arroyo. Come on, this is good stuff. All right, come on over to thedailywire.com and we'll continue talking about this.